we are. It works this time.
All we can see was everyone. Death. Hi, guys.
Yeah, so I just had to hit refresh on the browser, and then all of a sudden it started working. Let us know in the comments if you could hear our audio. We've got our little raspberry blue mic going on right now. And yeah, nap time bus. You guys are here. Jenna Sorbero, what's happening? Good to see you. Cans float, bottles don't.
Hola.
What's up, Cam and Kat? Good to see you. Randy Nap, you still got nothing, but nap time says that you do. Maybe Shelly has you. Randy, ask Shelly for some technical support. Jennifer Edwards, great to see you on tonight. Hey. And we also saw D. Swanson and A.W. Polymath. So that they love our channel and doing a rephrase. Congrats on that.
Yeah.
Today we've got a fun what is it called? Live stream for you today. We're going to be talking about what we've spent so far here on the bus build, but not quite yet. It's been cold here in Canada.
There's a snowstorm outside right now.
Maybe that's why it didn't start live right out of the gate.
It's frozen. It's frozen.
It's frozen?
Hey, everybody. Oh, you guys are so cute. Good to see you. Yeah, we effing love you too, Lazy Genius Tarot.
Rick and Karen, what's up? K-Sync, good to see you guys. Wasabi Fetish, Wonder Boy Bus. What is the secret to your power? That's that of them.
So we're working on the underbody door still.
Yeah. Oh, let's do a status update.
Status update. Complicated.
Yeah, life is complicated. I don't know if any of you have noticed that life is complicated at times.
Yeah. We have tea.
I've got a London fog going on. What are you drinking?
Chai latte.
Chai latte. Yeah.
Cheers, everybody.
Salud. London fogs, chai lattes. Yeah. What is everybody else drinking? We would love to know.
Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovers and other strangers out there. We don't really celebrate, but we worked on the bus to celebrate. So that was romantic.
And today, that was yesterday. And then today we worked on the bus even more. And today is not Valentine's Day. Today is Family Day here in Canada. Yeah. So life's been kind of interesting lately, especially with all of this snow going on. We've been bundling up like crazy. And I don't know if you guys have noticed in our videos lately, we've been wearing the same thing all the time.
Every day.
So a lot of these projects that we're doing are really vicious when it comes to our clothing. So a lot of sparks flying, welding.
Oh, wait. Where's my foam gob?
Oh, your foam gob is on this side right over here.
See?
Yeah, she got foam gobbed right over here.
Why would I wear a new hoodie when this one is perfectly dirty for this job?
Yeah, I got foam gobbed here on my shoulder. I've got rips happening in my sleeves. So we decided, we're all like, you know what? We are destroying all of the clothes that we wear. So let's just dedicate just a few different ones. And we're just going to wear the same damn thing all the time.
Yeah.
Which means that we don't do laundry as often as we probably should because we're wearing all the clothes and always at the bus.
We wear the clothes so they can stand up on their own.
We're so dirty.
And then we decide it's time to change them. I honestly don't think I can put more layers on. We can hardly move. I have like 3 shirts on right now, 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of socks. It's cold. My toes are so frozen right now.
I've been wearing 2 pairs of socks. Most of the time it's like 1 pair of wool socks and another pair of like super warm socks of some kind, like hiking socks. Yep. And then wearing the steel toe boots, wearing thermals on the under, wearing the pants, wearing another thermal. So this is like a thermal on top of a thermal on top of a sweater, and then wearing my jacket occasionally also.
These guys know. The Nap said they have bus clothes. Joe Roberts, he's destroyed a few pairs of shoes. I have had the same pair of steel toe boots for this entire build. And they pretty much, I just wear them like slippers now. Like I stopped doing them up because I can just like slide my huge socks in and out.
Yeah.
And that works pretty good. See, they don't care. See, we don't stink.
We don't stink because we're
Right
not sweating
now.
right now.
Because it's so cold.
It's so cold that our pores don't actually allow us to sweat.
Yeah.
Even though I've managed to squeak out a couple sweat drops.
Yeah, sometimes you get snotsicles on your sleeve, but that's
when
about
you're
it.
going,
Yeah. Yeah, you guys got coveralls for the job.
I know. We were talking about, those Carhartt like onesie coveralls.
Cute.
Oh, there are some that are just like totally insulated and supposedly they are really freaking comfortable to wear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if people actually wear clothing under those. We see people walking around in them. And,
I say, why bother?
Yeah. So you probably don't need to really wear much underneath those.
Cam from Can's Float says that he only has flip-flops and shorts, but you forgot the Mullet Pro, Cam. You have that. We saw that.
Yeah, you do have the Mullet Pro. And then also, if you're wearing flip-flops, be sure to like paint your toenails, Cam, with like maybe some like chrome or something. So you at least have some toe protection of some kind.
Yeah, coveralls is a fashion trend.
So we've been stocking up, y'all. I don't know if anybody else has been stocking up, but we stock up on some crazy things like supplies.
Yeah. So I don't know if all of you guys know. For those of you who are new here, you probably don't, but we are getting the boot from the barn on before April, so March 31st, which is fine.
It's part of life.
People who own the place need their barn back.
Yeah.
Cool. So we got to get out of here.
Yeah. Farmers got to work, right?
We didn't really expect this deadline.
We didn't expect to be working on the bus this long either.
No. We told them 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's been over a year.
Yeah.
So.
And like nap time, Randy and Shelly know it takes a while to build a bus. I mean, you guys are still working at Can's Flow also, Wonder Boy Bus.
Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, Dylan knows also.
Dylan does definitely know.
You guys know. Rick and Karen know.
Yeah.
Build it. How many people in here have Schoolies?
Drop a comment and just drop a comment that says Schooly if you actually have a Schooly that you're working on right now or you own one.
Yeah, I want to take a survey.
Yeah, we'd like to see how many right now there's 27 people on. Oh, if you haven't yet, throw the thumbs up on the video also because that helps the YouTube thing.
Schooly.
Yeah, and we're also looking to see how everybody spells Schooly. Because we've seen a lot of different spellings. And so far, I see 2 different spellings right there.
Shuttle Cat, St. December.
Yep.
New friend.
What's up, St. December?
Nice to see you. You can have a shuttle.
Yep.
Van Girl, that counts.
Val, you're cool. So
Val's badass.
Yeah.
We actually got to meet Val in person.
Wasabi soon.
Cool. She's been doing this longer than anybody I probably know in person.
Yeah.
Val, how many years have you lived in your van?
Yeah, you've been doing it for quite a while, which is pretty sweet. Totally sweet.
Cool. Wasabi's en route to get one.
Dylan Schooly guilty.
Schooly guilty.
There's no guilt in that, actually. Absolutely no guilt.
This is crazy.
This is great.
Most people in here have one. Keep it coming.
Yeah, definitely.
Cam says we need to build a barn.
We should build a barn, and we should build one that like comes out of the Schooly. So like when we park, it's like boop, 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 boop. And then it's like, whoa, where's the Schooly? It looks like there's a barn in the field.
We'll just get like one of those shelter logic things that like pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be totally
Erect
sweet.
a tent over our bus.
Piston 383 says hopefully by the end of the year.
Cool.
Nice. If there's any advice we can give is don't buy a rusty bus.
Do not buy a rusty bus.
Don't buy a rusty bus. Yeah.
Because
you have to be really good at metal fabrication when you buy a bus that has way too much rust. Because then you're going to have to be replacing structural stuff. No Schooly yet, says Nicole Hicks. But
I heard a yet at the end of that, though.
Yeah.
That was a yet.
Yep. We have a Schooly, and I hope to live long enough to get it done. Ha ha. Good job. Tom and Julie, what's up?
Yeah. Val says she's been part-time and full-time, and the lifestyle is ever-changing. I can imagine that. Like, I feel like when we were traveling full-time, how many years? Almost 3, I think. 3 years we were traveling full-time. And once we kind of got to the end of it, we were both like, okay, like we were sick of living out of a backpack. And then we were like, let's live in a bus. So we can at least keep traveling and have some more luxuries that we wanted. Like
more lenses for the camera.
Yeah, and maybe a drone and like nice knives for the kitchen. We ended up buying knives that we would carry in our check bag, like when we checked the carry-on. But when we didn't check our carry-on, we had to leave the knives behind.
They don't like you traveling with chef's knives.
No. And I hate using crappy knives when we're cooking. There's nothing more frustrating than trying to make really good food and having crappy knives. Can I get a yaha?
Yaha. What's up, Mark Wilson?
Hey!
We are working right now. We're working on relationships and hanging out with the crowd.
Get to work. You get to work. Aww.
Yeah, get to work on your box truck, Mark, and all the other trucks that you've been working on.
I want to know.
And your property.
Yeah.
We can't wait to go park there.
Yeah. Maybe that's where we can go in April.
Yeah.
Wasabi says he's looking to build maybe a Schooly.
A Schooly?
What is that?
What is
that? A
Schooly?
futon with wheels?
A food Schooly? Like you're going to sell tacos or, excuse me, you're going to sell sushi.
Please, sushi.
Out of like a little open window. Like you could take the emergency exit window and you could pop it open. So just save it and then put a little gas strut on it so it pops up and it says open. That would be great. Yeah. And you can make some fresh wasabi for everybody who buys your sushi.
Oh, Cam said meet us at Vallarta Shores. How'd you find out about that, Cam?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cam.
We thought that was a secret.
Or is that Cat? No, Cam is Can's
No,
float.
Cat's on Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
You guys are tricky.
Futon with wheels.
No, right. It was a futon with wheels. Oh, no. Jenna's just making fun of what I said. You guys are hilarious.
Y'all, we have been stocking up on parts and stuff. That's where this was full circle. So we've been stocking up on parts. We have a whiteboard that we really haven't looked at in a while, but the other day we looked at it and we were all like, ooh, maybe we should actually get to some of these projects because some of them are pretty freaking essential. And then we had this like crazy chain of events that just so happened to happen. We're gonna we got a diesel heater that can do some crazy stuff, and now we're planning on doing something interesting with that. I don't know if we should tell them about that yet.
We could tell them.
So it involves.
If you show up for this, you should get some insight.
Okay, we're gonna give you some.
Who wants inside? You guys
who wants some inside? You want some inside scoop on a fun project that wasn't planned.
Yeah.
But then we learned about it and we were like, you know what? YOLO, let's go.
We'll give you the scoop without the poop.
Drop a comment and let us know if you want inside scoop and we'll give you some inside scoop. But before we get to the inside scoop, so we've been stocking up on, we've been looking at our whiteboard and what is essential. So we got to get this place freaking insulated. We have the insulation. We just haven't been able to put it up because we were pending the leak test. Well, we're almost done caulking all of the eaves troughs or gutters where the roof comes down and where the skin comes up. Well, when we first put that skin up, it wasn't really caulked completely. And so that's where all of our leaks came from, except for the dome skylight, which we're just not done flashing in the top of it. We got the skirt of it done flashing, but we still have a drip edge that has to go over the seal. And it wasn't even through the seal. It was through the circular part where we're just not done. We're not done sealing that. So
we need to flash
we had
a bit more.
A small leak there.
So the part under the eaves trough where Brian was blasting water up
vertically from the ground up.
There's pretty much no way that we're ever going to get water blasted up there. Even if it was hurricane winds, we're probably never going to get water that goes up and under the eaves trough. What we did do was caulk that though, so that we don't get a lot of drafts. If we're going to be in cold climate, we need draft protection. So That's all caulked now. Now we just have to do a little bit more around the windows. We only had a couple windows that actually had a small
minor leak. But we kind of anticipated that though, because that was the couple that we had to put like an extra piece of weather stripping.
Yeah.
Because when we built the skin for around the windows, there was around the corners, like on the top corners, there was a little bitty gap. And I was like, you know what, let's just put another piece of weather stripping there and hopefully that'll dam it up. Well, it didn't. And so we're going to they're frameless windows on the exterior. So we're going to just put a bead of caulking in between the glass and the skin around it. So it's going to be fine.
Okay.
It's going to work.
We got to get back on track here. So
a lot of people want us to spill the beans.
We're on route. I promise. There's one more leak test that needs to happen, and that's with plumbing. We could not complete the plumbing yet because we didn't have the water filtration system. Yeah. Most of the water filtration system has arrived, and it's just been like piddling in slowly but surely. Then we got this diesel heater that can do two things.
The first thing it does is it warms the cab air. A lot of people get the diesel heaters that warm the cab, which is great because these things are super efficient and they're super warm. I know that Randy and Shelly have a diesel heater, and that's helping them out a lot, which is totally awesome. Well, the second thing that our diesel heater does is warm water. So it holds 11 liters of water and it superheats it to 70 Celsius, which is like, I think that's like in the 180s or something like that, Fahrenheit. I don't know. I don't have the conversion thing, but 70 Celsius. If someone can look that up for us and drop a comment and tell us what 70 Celsius in Fahrenheit is, that would be great. So what we're going to do with this is we like to take showers because we like to be clean, even though we're dirt bags and we wear the same clothes all the time.
I like to have a long shower to make it clear, a half-hour shower every few days.
And the days that she doesn't have a shower,
shower.
They're no showers.
Or a touch-up. I like the touch-up.
Yeah.
We won't tell you what we call that.
So we saw online, and we've seen a lot of different people doing this, but we're gonna create a recirculating shower system. Yeah, with the diesel heater that will heat the water continuously. So imagine this, and I would show you the diagram right now, but I don't have this set up to do a screen share because we're not on Zoom. If we were on Zoom doing this, then I could do a screen share and actually show you the diagram. We're going to post it and get Your Skoolie On, so everybody who has access to that will have access to that diagram along with all of our other diagrams that we put up there that we don't post anywhere else, not on our website or whatever. So what it basically does is there's a water holding tank, and it piston 3D3 bird bath. Correct.
I said it.
Oh, you said it. Oh, I didn't see you type.
You weren't supposed to say it out loud.
Okay. So you've got a holding tank for water. You've got some filters. So you've got a strainer for the pump. You have a sediment filter. Then you have a charcoal filter. Then you have a UV filter. And all of this is designed to like scrub the water, clean the water, sanitize the water, and then it pushes it through the diesel heater, warms it up super fast, and then pushes it through up to the shower. And then the drain, whenever it comes out of the shower, the drain goes back into that same holding tank and then goes back through the system. So we're going to have, so you know how in our basement, how we have two 30-gallon repurposed barrels? Well, we're going to separate those now. Right now they're teed together. We're going to separate those, and one is going to be for the recirculating shower, and one is going to be for the just regular drains and the urine diverter and stuff like that.
Yep.
So
we were going to set up the recirculating shower later. we were like, let's get all the stuff. We'll buy the filters. Because right now we have an address that we can send stuff to.
Yeah.
We're not going to have an address come April. So the idea was that we order all the stuff. We wait to set up the recirculating shower later. But then we were like, why would we soil our gray tanks with urine, at least both of them, and then use the one for a recirculating shower? That just didn't even make sense. Didn't jive with either one of us, really. You could probably clean it, power wash it. Ours don't come out of the bus now. You'd have to like literally saw them out to get the gray tanks out. So we decided we need to do that sooner than later. So we just added that. And now we have to like reroute a bit of plumbing in our shower. And why is he smiling like that?
Because of these comments.
You guys are killing us. Oh, we had somebody said 158 Fahrenheit.
St. December, thank you.
St. December.
158
You're
Fahrenheit,
good.
70 Celsius. So I know that we're like sickos, but the idea is that we're going to be able to, obviously we're going to have to hold extra filters. So some of you guys will be like, I hope you carry extra filters. Yeah, obviously you have to change your filters. Mm-hmm. But the idea is that we're not going to be using our fresh water as often, because we only use it in this case for drinking and for cooking and occasionally for washing some clothes.
100 gallons for dishes, cooking, laundry, drinking.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's basically it.
That's badass, eh?
So here's the thing. Building a schoolie is a massive experiment. I know that some people are going to like be like, that is the grossest thing ever. But part of this experiment is seeing how gross it really is. So what I plan on doing is taking a water sample of our fresh water that we're going to have in our freshwater tank, and then also have a water sample of where we got the water from. We're going to send both of those samples out because we're also having a crazy filter system that we're going to install for our freshwater system. And I want to see what the differences are with the filters that we end up going with. Now, the other thing is we're going to be filling up the water for the recirculating shower from our fresh water. And so anytime we go to fill up our fresh water or we need to dump the recirculating shower and refill the fresh water, then we're going to know, hey, when we fill up with fresh water from our freshwater tank that has a filter on it, we're going to have a valve that we could just turn on, and then the pump will go fill the tank up as much as we need, like maybe 10 or 20 gallons or something, and turn it off, and then fill up the rest of the fresh water when we're doing our water fills. But I want to test the water as we're like using it and see how good or how bad the system is over time. So eventually, like, we'll have, hey, this is a fresh system. It's never been used for a shower before. What's the water quality on that? And we'll get all of the water tested, because all of these recirculating shower systems that we've seen, not any of them that we've seen has anyone shown water tests. And I like the science of all of this, because there's no reason why our mini system for the recirculating shower shouldn't work. Because if you look at municipal water supply sources, where are they getting the water from that? Every time you flush the toilet, water goes down the drain. Guess what? Those are going the same pipes, and they're going to the water treatment facility, and you're drinking piss.
You're drinking people's medications and shit too. Like birth control.
They're filtering it, right?
Yeah, everything. Every medication that goes through people's body comes out in their whiz, and we drink that. Really,
Cheryl Moaning, HD does it for free. We will have to give them a call and see if that's true or not. We'll fact check that, because apparently fact checking is huge right now on social.
Cancel. Oh, okay. Alma Mo. Hey, is Alma Mo up in here?
Larry, are you here?
See Larry?
There he is. What's up, Larry?
Just get another 100-gallon freshwater tank for extra showers. Larry.
Or get a hot tub like you're going to have.
Yeah, family bathtub. If you guys don't know about Alma Momos, this guy is so creative.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Freaking master welder.
Yeah, this guy is killing it. Biggest roof raise I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he's doing something crazy that not a lot of people have done.
Yeah.
Well, the Naps did a pretty badass roof raise too.
Hell yeah.
Alma Momos, though, he's doing like in-floor storage. His roof is so high that instead of, I don't know if are you doing underbody storage too, buddy? I don't know. But if he is, let us know.
Yes, you are, Larry.
But Larry is doing in-floor storage. Pretty cool. I'm no Randy Knapp. Aww.
You're right, Mark Wilson. Chlorinated city water is recycled sewage.
Yeah.
It's just a fact of reality. So for our Schooly experiment, this is one of the experiments that we want to present to the public so that people can actually see what the science behind it is. And what's cool about that is if it sucks, guess what? We built the whole MFer and we could reroute it and put it back to normal because we're still going to have the hot water tank, the Bosch 7-gallon that we have. And then we'll just not use the water part of it. Or we could plumb the water portion up to like a hydronic heating system of some kind also, and maybe like run some wall heating or I don't know, some rads.
Yeah.
We can do that also.
There's some rads.
But what I love about building a Schooly is that we're doing all the work, so we know what needs to be adjusted if something needs to be adjusted. So I don't know. What crazy experiments does everybody else want to see us do? Because we could probably do some more experiments. One that I wanted to do that I haven't done yet, but I don't think we're even going to get to, was when we did the foam in the ribs. There were people busting our gonads and strife about the foam not curing in the enclosed space, even though there's like 60 screw holes across the ribs. We drilled inspection holes, like probably half a dozen of them at random. And guess what? 100% cure rate, probably because it was single part foam also, because double part foam is a little bit more persnickety about stuff like that.
Who says that? Yeah, so we've had, so because of the timeline being bumped up, we've had a lot of expenses come up way quicker than we expected. Like, way quicker. Wouldn't you say?
Way quicker.
Way quicker. But I think that we have almost purchased all the big things that we need. There's only some things that we still need, right?
Yeah, only a few things.
Yeah.
Not a lot of things.
Yeah. Like we need to get plywood and stuff for the walls. We're making our ceiling. We're going to do that out of pallets. And that's been a long job. But finally I got good at it. Oh my God. You should have seen Brian's face. This is hilarious. Well, at least I thought it was funny. When we first started tearing apart pallets, I was such a wimp about it. It hurt my hands. Just like hammering the claw to pull the pieces apart. It was like, oh, my hands are so sore. I could hardly pull them apart. And just watching Brian's face, watching me do it, like he looked like he was in big trouble, like in for just like so much work by himself. And then I got really good at it.
Yeah.
But
so we had a little class, she and I, where I taught her about like using the Wonder Bar or whatever for prying, and showed her the different ways that I use it, because I've used a lot of different prying tools in my life at different capacities, from non-emergent situations to, oh, hell, this guy's legs trapped in a car. Let's figure out how to pry this apart. Screaming bloody murder and stuff like that situation. So when pulling apart pallets, it's a little bit more like, oh, cool, we're just pulling some nails out. So I showed her all the little tricks and stuff for like amplifying leverage and stuff like that for that. And after that, she started just kicking butt at it. And now I'm not freaking sweating it anymore. She's like, oh, I'm going to go bust some pallets open. I'm just like, yeah, go do that.
It's like the only thing that actually like warms me to my bones.
Yeah.
Is like smashing some pallets, get like a good pallet smash on, and then get to work right away.
Yeah.
That works out really nice.
So that's going real nice.
So we're going to make the ceiling. But yeah, we can't close the walls in until we do our final leak test. So we got to set up this recirculating shower. We're just finishing up with the underbody doors. Once we have the underbody doors in, we can put the water tank in, water filtration.
Yeah.
Then we will be able to heat under the bus enough that the water doesn't freeze. And then we can do a water test.
Yeah.
And then we can close the walls in.
Yeah. So the water test, we're going to do an air test on it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do an air test. Would basically you close the system, you pressurize the system just using compressed air, and you watch the gauge and make sure that you have no PSI loss. And so there's a way of doing that, and we'll show you in a video what we end up doing with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we got going on with that.
Pamela said she wants to see us do radiant heated floors.
We're past that. Pamela, we're
sorry, girlfriend.
Yeah, that's not happening in this build.
You can't see our floors right now, but they are done. And there's a video on that, promise.
Yeah, yeah.
We made it also.
If we ever do radiant floors, it'll probably be in a homestead house of some kind. But the floor is done here, and we're not pulling it up to add that. If we were to do that, it would have been a long time ago. Back when there was nothing in the bus and we were just getting to insulation on the floor, because that's when you would do that particular job, which I hear is a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, we've seen some other conversions do it.
Life's a Joy. Schooly.
Life's a Joy.
They did it.
And or maybe not Wes, that Chris guy.
Chris.
Transcend. Yeah. No, I don't know.
No,
if
that's
him.
Wes.
I got them all mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Life's a Joy did radiant heat floors.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. But I don't know. At that time, we were like, we don't have enough money for that. So
Piston 383 asks, do you guys have a name for your bus?
We do. We don't
necessarily
love it.
Yeah.
We were calling it the Beep Mobile.
BEAP. So
Adventure Partners.
Be Adventure Partners.
We don't know if we love it yet.
Everybody doesn't know what the BE for Be Adventure Partners is, because like we hear people like in person who know us personally, they're like, how is BE Adventure Partners going? They're like, guys, it's Be Adventure Partners. Brian, Erin, BE. You don't say BE Adventure Partners.
I like the Be Adventures.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I think, should we change our channel name to the Be Adventures?
Be Adventures. Yeah.
The Be Adventures.
Yeah.
Call it Young Nasty Man.
Young Nasty Man and Tenacious D.
And they can be lovers together.
Yeah.
Our bus Wonder Boy
and Young Nasty Man.
Yeah, that's good.
And then we could park our buses like butt to butt, and then we could have one long deck. We do cartwheels across Wonder Boy and Young Nasty Man.
Don't step on the solar panels, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are crazy. Smashing Pallets sounds like a good bus name. Hey, Joseph.
What up, Joseph?
Nice
Good to see you,
man. Hey, we got a
Hi
BBS index from Germany.
It's friggin' late, 3:30 in the morning. I wouldn't call that late. I would call that early.
Ooh.
That's really early in the
Good
morning.
to see you, though.
Yeah.
My cue for you would be why do you have to be done in 2 months? The people want their barn back.
Yeah.
So we got to get out of here. Not that we're going to be done. We're going to be living in this thing when it's not done.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Yeah. We are actually getting some tools because we borrowed a ton of tools that we use, but we're acquiring our own set of tools that we can still do like woodworking and stuff.
Like adults.
Yeah, like adults. I used to have a ton of tools back in the day. Like I had a 2-car garage set up as like a woodworking space and stuff and all sorts of really cool tools. But whenever I quit the fire department back in April of 2017, we sold everything. And so like literally this bus is like now our everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was so worth it to sell all of our stuff, give all of our stuff away, get rid of the homes we lived in so we could just have an experience of traveling together and being together. Because I'm from Canada, Brian's from the US, for those of you who don't know.
Texas.
So for us, it didn't make sense really that like right away I would move from Canada to the US or Brian would move from the US to Canada. That didn't really make sense to us when we knew that we wanted to travel so much.
Yeah.
So why not test out our relationship traveling? That made the most sense to us. And we were able to do it at that time because of all the stuff that we had sold and the business that we had built online. So that was cool. I'm from Ontario. Yeah.
And I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah.
I barely lived in San Antonio, though. I lived in Austin more than anywhere else in Texas. BBS Index says thanks. No problem. And we've been working on the bus since I guess September of 2019. So just over a year, September, October, November, December, January, February. Almost a year and a half we've been working on the bus.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Shelly Knapp, we are going to really live in it while we finish it.
Texas does look like Canada at the moment with all the white powder that they just got dumped on them. That's right. Hey, BBS Index, interesting factoid for you and for everybody else. I actually lived in Germany for 9 years as a child. My stepdad was in the Air Force, and so we lived in Kaiserslautern, Ramstein, and where else do we live? Beethoven, I think.
I thought you were going to do the fun fact about how many degrees Fahrenheit below it is than usual in Texas.
Ooh, that's another fun fact. Okay. Looking at the North America right now, if you're looking at the North American map and you can see both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans on either side, in the center going down from Canada, it is on average right now 43 degrees Fahrenheit lower in temperature all the way down to just past San Antonio, South Central Texas, on average lower. So what does that mean? That's going to mean like planting seasons for crops are going to be probably delayed because of all of that, because like some of those areas start warming up a lot sooner. So potential food shortages on the rise. We saw some reports of power outages happening, like crazy stuff going down in San Antonio also, along with other areas.
If you want to hear some interesting stuff about weather, I'm going to drop Adapt 2030 with David Dubine. Interesting what's going on with the weather, guys.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is like there's a lot of stuff that's not being reported.
There's a lot of distractions happening right now too, globally.
If you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Also there was a big ass snowstorm in Japan where they had something like 10 feet of snow drop in 72 hours.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That was
They had
wild.
like military coming in to shovel roofs off so the houses wouldn't collapse. Really crazy.
Yeah.
They're having the warmest winter ever in Utah.
It's crazy.
Weird, right?
Crazy highs, crazy lows
Crazy highs and
is what's
lows.
going on. It's absolutely nuts. So
Portland is running out of gas. See, that's also weird.
And when you say gas, Joe Melton, are you talking about gasoline? Gasoline. Or are you talking about natural gas? Or are you talking about liquid propane gas or nitrogen gas? There's a lot of different gases.
Yeah,
Which gas?
polymath. We're going to do a video on the recirculating shower for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, and thanks for your being the first commenter, Polymath. First commenter of we weren't even going yet. Like we were just pulling it up, and we saw the comment pop up, and then we tried to comment back.
If you send us a message,
bean gas,
Polymath, send us a message on Instagram or
Facebook
with your address. if you want. Oh, it's Andrew. Is that your name? With your address, and we'll send you something for being so tardy.
Being tardy.
Like on time. No, wait, tardy's late.
Early bird gets the worm. Like tardy. That
whatever.
He was not tardy. He or she was
Florida.
not tardy. Yeah. Florida is also cold. Yeah, so like staying warm is essential, but also whenever it's getting unseasonably warm, staying cool is also essential.
Yeah. We were really gonna stick to this only one fuel source thing. Let's talk about that.
Oh yeah,
I'm a little disappointed in us, but not that disappointed because I feel like having redundant systems is smart. We were going to stick to just diesel as our only fuel, and then wood for wood fire. And then
sun for solar.
But then we were like, what if it's so sunny? Hey, Joseph.
What's up, Joseph? Thanks. Way to stop us in our tracks.
Good to
Thank
see
you
ya.
so much. One of our faves. One of our patrons. We really appreciate you, Joseph. Thanks so much for all the support that you show and all the engineering mindset stuff that you bestow upon us, because you are a genius.
Yep.
Thanks so much for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you.
That helps the cause.
That does. What was I talking about? Oh, redundant fuel systems.
Yeah.
So, so we were thinking a lot about being in winter climate, because originally we didn't really know where we were going to be, but because of dirty old COVID, if we get stuck up in Canada, which isn't really stuck because Canada's beautiful and we haven't discovered hardly any of it.
Yeah.
So if we're going to be up here and we're going to be in the cold, then we need to have redundant systems for heating and for electricity. So we got a generator, and it is gasoline run.
It is gasoline run.
So we can juice the batteries every once in a while. Hopefully we don't have to do that.
Night, Joseph. Aww. Thanks so much for stopping by. We really appreciate you.
We didn't even know you were here. Just snuck right in there like a superhero flying. So sweet.
Yeah. Jenna, yes. People can send money on YouTube Lives or even premieres. They're called super chats. If you look at the chat box down below, there's a $sign. Anybody that clicks that can send us a super chat. Daniel, thank you so much.
Smokes, you guys. It's so sweet.
This really helps us out because it helps us. Joe Melton.
You guys, cute.
Seriously, this so helps our channel out so much, and everything that we do, because everything that we do is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we put our heart into it. We try to share as much as we can, and and you guys being here, we hope that the knowledge that we glean off of other people, other channels, past life experiences and stuff, that we can share that here on this channel. And, if that's worth something to you, we really appreciate all the support that people show.
Yeah.
We got a little merch shop also on Teespring that we've got.
Couple
Get Your Skoolie On
t-shirts.
A few people have gotten those. And Get Your Skoolie On e-course is also available, where we have all of our guides and stuff. We throw it in there. So
there's not a lot in there yet in Get Your Skoolie On, but there's enough to get people going. And we really are working hard on Get Your Skoolie On right now, behind the scenes.
For the cut.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much. Polymath.
So
appreciate it.
So sweet. You guys are
Thank you guys so much. This is so freaking great. Absolutely. Questions. What question? I know that we haven't really hit on how much we've spent on the build yet so far, but we've actually added it all up. We've saved every single receipt since. Okay, so
I just hand the receipts to Brian. I'm really good at spending the money for the stuff, but I hand Brian the receipts and he
I save them
away.
digitally. So I use a little app on the phone. I don't even know what it's called. It's like by Adobe or something, and it shoots a PDF. Like it shoots a picture, but it makes it a PDF, and then it saves the PDF. Well, I've been putting those into Google Drive so that we can then itemize everything once the build is done. Well, our accountants, we've got a complicated situation with Be Adventure Partners. It's a joint venture partnership that's international media agency, essentially, between the U.S. and Canada. U.S., Canada. So we've got our joint venture partnership, Erin and I. So our accountant said that we can actually probably write off, maybe they're going to look into it, the logistics of it, but potentially use the bus as a write-off because it's part of our YouTube channel. So that is super freaking exciting. So before we started the build, we actually asked them about this, and they said, save all your receipts because we could potentially help you out with that on the business side of things. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, we could do that. So we just kept up with it diligently. Every single time a purchase was made, I pull out my phone, snap a shot of it, send it up to the cloud. And then now it's tax time, and they're all like, hey, did you guys keep track of all that stuff? We're like, yeah. They're like, cool, let's see what it is, and let's see if there's something that we can do. So that's what we're doing. That's why we saved all the receipts. And we've got a spreadsheet of all the costs and use the sum formula to add it all up. Yeah. So to date, we have spent, including the purchase of the bus. Mm-hmm. Let's see if we can get the exact number on here. $26,479.87.
Which blew our minds. I just spit everywhere. It actually blew our minds because we thought that we had spent like $50,000.
Yeah.
Like, no joke. We were
talking the other day, and I was
probably going to come in at like 50 G's.
How much do you think we spent there, Erin? She's just like, well, I don't know. What do you think? And I was like, I think that we spent probably like $50,000 already.
Yeah. It was 26,400 something.
Yeah, 26 and some change.
Yeah.
26 and some change.
Yeah.
So,
which blew our minds. I think it will be no more than 35,000, but probably closer to
30-ish, probably 30-ish, because we still have just a few more. Like right now, we're working on the underbody storage doors.
No, almost. That is in American dollars.
U.S. dollars. U.S. dollars.
It's way more in Canadian.
Everything it's like 30,000 in CAD.
Yeah.
But we anything that we bought in CAD, we actually converted over to USDs because our accountant needed that.
Yeah.
USDs.
USDs.
That is
guys.
USDs.
Yeah. I think you could do it for 30 G's. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, doing it how we're doing it. Because there's different ways of doing builds. Like you can literally buy a bus and just build out the interior. Like for instance, throw a mattress down on the floor and have a portable toilet sitting there. Like that's a way to do it.
Totally. You cannot take out the walls. Don't take out the ceiling. We see tons of people who don't even take the walls, ceiling.
They just clad it
out. They just put stuff up on top of it. Yeah. For us, we didn't really want to do that because we wanted to see what was living behind
we needed to do that
22-year-old wall and ceiling. It made sense to us.
Absolutely.
And also, metal has no love, guys. Metal is cold, and we get our balls busted about thermal bridging all the time. And when you're building inside of a metal machine, you will have thermal bridging. So wood shows love. We're putting as much wood in this puppy as possible because it will absorb the heat and keep us warm, right? Yeah. And it's just like a softer feel. Like right now we still have an echo, but every bit of wood that we put in this place, it just like softens the sound. It makes it warmer. Yeah. You guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
Don't you have to make a profit and pay tax before you can claim anything?
We're not our accountants, and every situation is different for
Yeah.
every different situation.
Yeah.
So we can't provide tax advice, and we do not provide tax advice
Ever.
And our channels for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only.
Good question, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So when it comes to the P&L and all of that, like we use QuickBooks and stuff to manage all of that.
Yeah.
But we're definitely far from qualified for like saying what you can and can't write off.
Yeah.
And we take no responsibility for anyone's actions off of anything that they so happen to see on our channel, because like I can't control how a circular saw is going to work for you, or a chop saw, or an angle grinder.
Yeah.
Like everything is dangerous that we do and potentially life-threatening. So like that's like if you stay to the end of every single one of our YouTube videos on our Schooly build, you're going to see this massive disclaimer on there. Like there's no way that anyone producing videos for YouTube should be required to be liable for anyone else's actions, because everyone's responsible for their own happiness in life.
Even without the disclaimers, we're going to ride the disclaimer train. We have to. And that's why we do the dorky eye pro, ear pro thing. That's why we do that, is because
it's important.
If it's fun and silly,
Yeah.
like we actually never meant to do that. That started as a joke because Brian had gloves that said pro on them, one of his first gloves. So then we started joking about pro. But yeah, it just makes sense when you watch somebody's YouTube channel that, you know, that's not the holy grail. That is, you're here for entertainment. If you learn something cool.
I like what Nicole Hicks says: circumstances alter cases as broken noses alter faces. That is really good.
That's not a disclaimer. That's accounting for stupid people or the people that forget in a hurry to put it on, like me. No, we forget to put pro on too, and sometimes we get hurt. One time I was wearing eye pro and I walked straight into a clamp because it was so dark in here, and it like pushed my goggles into my face, and then I got like a big slash across my face. You can see that video. It's one of the videos where we're skinning on the outside of the bus.
Henry Ross asked earlier, if you can start over, would you build a slide out? I don't think so. I don't think that we would build a slide out, and here's why. I used to have a travel trailer that was a 27-footer bumper pool by a company called Forest River or something like that, and that had a slide out, and it was not, I didn't really enjoy it that much. It was a pain to not have out.
Would you have to move everything to move the slides?
Yeah. Yeah. So if something was in the way, like you had to like clean a trail, because like we're humans, right?
We're dirty.
Sometimes stuff's on the floor.
Yeah.
It just happened. If you look at the barn right now, like in the next couple of videos,
oh my God,
holy smokes.
We're just hoarding everything.
It's getting so freaking packed in here, and we're working around it too. So it's like, okay, what can we get to these big projects to like get some of these boxes out of here?
We've got like goat trails everywhere, and Brian just like sets things on the ground. I'm like constantly cleaning
because
up.
That's where I'm.
But he's constantly working, and I'm constantly tidying.
You work too.
Yeah.
Remember the pallets that you've been taking apart?
Smash pallets.
Yeah, and cutting all that steel with the snippers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do such a good job.
We had another good question. We asked Dylan Hickey wants to know if we got any plans for our first destination. We got to park somewhere where we can keep building. That's the goal. So we're going to be looking for that spot. Yeah, no plan. Brian needs to stay in Canada till his Canadian residency papers go through. That's what Canada suggested.
Yeah.
So we'll be here. And then with all these like crazy restrictions and stuff, we just heard, this is nuts, that Montreal or Quebec is like, they have barricades up between their province and Ontario. So we won't be going east. I'm going to avoid the dirty old COVID test at all costs.
Yeah, we're not really into any of that.
I don't really want a microchip put up my nose.
We don't like to follow the masses.
I'm just kidding. Okay.
We don't like to follow the masses.
Next.
There we go. Yeah.
12 volt or 24 volt or 48 volt system. Someone else I did see also asked
it's a 12 volt system.
Power on board.
But we have an inverter that bumps it up to 120 volt.
Yep.
So there's that. We haven't connected all of that yet. I know that we've done a video on like building the battery bank rack and like mounting a few of the stuff, but we haven't connected any of that yet because we're having a hell of a time trying to get the 4-aught wire that we need to connect it all.
We got a box that was like really shady. It was like falling apart and crushed. Then we open it and the red 4-aught wire was in the box. And then a couple days later, we looked on Amazon being like, where's the other 4-aught wire?
Yeah, did it come in another box or something?
We didn't get the black. Maybe it's coming in another thing. And we got it from the same company. So that was a bit weird. And then it said that it had already been delivered. And we're like, nuh-uh.
Not up in here.
That wire is so expensive. We're like, what the heck? Like they would, lose something that was expensive.
Yeah, so we contacted them and we're like, hey, half of our order arrived and the other half is not in the box, but it said it was delivered. Oh, we're sorry about that. We'll go ahead and mail you out another one. It'll be there in about 2 to 3 weeks. And we're just like, crap. So the rest of the wires should arrive within the next 11 days. So hopefully we can get back to getting the battery bank and the inverter, charge controller, and all of that installed and hooked up to our 120 volts, 110 volt panel, because it would be really nice to finish that part and get that done. But we have all the other parts that we need for that, so we're just waiting. It's a waiting game for some stuff.
A lot of waiting.
Yeah.
I like Henry Ross's question. What bus life do you admire? Like maybe a YouTube channel, I'm guessing. We love the naps. We love nap time bus. We watch a lot of Almost. We watch a lot of Meredith and Paco. We become friends with all these people, like Can's Float and Wonder Boy. Cam and Kat. Really, we love them.
Yeah.
We were watching a lot of van life videos. We were watching a lot of van life videos. That's what kind of sparked this whole journey.
Yeah.
And so I guess we were watching Trent and Allie a lot.
Yeah.
Who else?
In the van, I don't even remember.
I don't even know. We were watching a ton of it. Oh, that's Sarah and what's his name? I don't know. And
that was too small for me, though.
Yeah, it was way too small. Brian's a huge human, tall man. So, and we like to cook. We wanted like a real life-size kitchen, and we got a real life-size kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't keep up with you guys. This is so
Hey,
fun.
Shelly Knapp, we received the call from you today, but and listened to your voicemail. Have not called you back. Obviously, you probably know that, and we have intention of calling you back.
Yeah.
But we were my arms were literally full of stuff walking out of the house, coming out to the barn. So you are correct. We were heading out to the barn at that time.
You felt it.
Yeah.
You felt it.
You definitely felt it.
I like this. Saint December said something about doing their build in Lowe's parking lots and Home Depot parking lots. Totally doable. And at the beach. Where are you? That sounds so great.
Yeah.
I want to be building at the beach.
Saint December also says, although you two are doing way more advanced projects.
Hopefully we'll be done with some of that stuff by then.
I don't know what that means exactly, because I feel like projects are only advanced if you're not familiar with a particular trade or a particular like mode of construction or whatever. For us, all the metal projects have been the advanced ones for us, because neither of us had worked with metal before, ever. And so watched about 20 minutes of welding on YouTube, and that's how I learned how to weld with specifically the machine that we are using and borrowing. So that's how I learned how to weld. And then as for the metal fabrication work or whatever, we have access to a metal shop right next door. And so we're just using their brake and stuff like that for bending up the sheet metal and stuff. And so for a lot of that, besides Erin's dad showing us how to do a few things, which we really appreciate, also YouTube, like just searching online, searching on like Google Photos also to learn how to do like different joints and different like edges and safe edges and different ways to put metal together. So that's kind of how we roll whenever we go to like, hey, we got this idea that we want to do this. How do we do this? I don't know. Let's figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, our metal fabrication is definitely coming along. Brian's welding is getting so much better.
Oh, it's coming.
It's really neat to see.
Lot better.
It's crazy. It's like every project that you tackle, the first chunk of the project is just shit. And then as you keep, maybe not shit, but it's not great. And there's troubles and it takes longer. And then as you get going, it starts getting a little bit better. And it's like you're at the end of it. And the last one goes super smooth and fast. Yeah. That's just interesting. Really interesting how that works. But it makes sense. Yeah. We're all just practicing, right? And learning and
it's all an experiment.
This whole thing is a science experiment, and that's the fun part of it. And the really cool part about anybody who's willing to take on a project like this.
Hats off to you.
Hats off.
Or toques off.
Toques off. I won't take my toque off today. It's a dirty hair. You never know. I used to be a hairstylist. But yeah. There's lots of learning. Anybody who is willing to take this on, it is one hell of a project, but is so worth it because I feel like I could survive this world way more in the wild because of the skills I'm learning doing this. If that makes sense.
There's something interesting about life too. Like life brings people in various directions. When I was a child, I was just completely like, I saw this vision of survival in the wild. And I started learning at a very young age, like in my single digits, how to start fires. And I was like a little firebug. I had lighters, I had matches. I never did anything malicious. Like I was a responsible single digit human at that point. But I used to like look at the books for like Swiss Family Robinson and Robinson Crusoe and just like learning all of this survival stuff. Whenever I was a kid living in Germany, there was a guy in the building that we lived in who was totally into like black powder musket rifles and bows and arrows and all sorts of different survival camping gear and stuff. And he had his little shop that I would, in the building, there was like a basement area that went along the building and everybody had their storage units in there. And so he had like man caved out his area in there. And so he was showing me like all this stuff, like his muskets that he had and all of these different knives and all his survival gear. And he taught me how to use flint and steel and make the little charcoal patches out of like cotton shotgun patches so that you make flint and steel fires. And so that was like my first taste of survival and getting out there and being self-reliant. And so he taught me all sorts of crazy stuff about all of that. And so I started, I had a backpack, and I essentially, as a child, didn't know what I was doing, but I made my first bug out bag that had a hammock in there. It had like several different ways to start fires. It had fishing line and fishing hooks and flashlights and like little tarps and paracord and stuff. And I would go and make little forts out in the forests of Germany around the areas that we lived. There was all these logging roads. And then like fast forward to now, like I think and feel, both of us do, that now is more important than ever that people learn how to take care of themselves when the shit is starting to hit the fan. Like I feel like
the shit is going through the fan full throttle right now,
non-stop hitting the fan. Yeah. And so like learning all this stuff and being self-reliant and learning the off-grid thing, because like we live in a very fragile society here where like if a transport truck doesn't make it to the grocery store on time, guess what? The grocery store might run out of some things. And we've experienced that firsthand when we were traveling through Central, South America, a little bit of Mexico, Bon Air especially, where the grocery stores would run out, and we would ask them in Spanish, hey, you know, when's your next truck? And they're like, it was supposed to be here yesterday. And there was a big storm at sea, and the boat, you know, isn't going to make it on time. It's late by a day and a half now. And people are getting like restless and stuff. And
people were really like kind of like pushing each other around in the stores and stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't just see that on Bon Air either. We saw that in the Galapagos.
Galapagos also, islands. There's been several places that we've seen that. And so like for us humans right now to say, you know what, I'm good, I live close to a grocery store. The grocery store does not make food. That's the first and foremost thing that we have to understand as humans. The grocery store gets food from somewhere, and somewhere grows the food or makes what was grown into food, or turns substances into something that appears to be food. And so like for us, like we want to get into a position that we're able to start doing a homestead, and like we're going to travel around obviously in the Schooly, but it would be nice to be able to get a little piece of land that we can grow our own stuff so that we can start working towards being self-reliant and having our own power sources if power is a necessity. But there's a lot of stuff that like growing up as a child, I had no idea that it would be a direct reflection to the way that life is going, and I feel life is going now. And it's like that's part of our journey as humans is being able to like see what's happening now and what has happened in life previously that's preparing people for what's now and what's to come.
Yeah, Ginger, you're totally right. COVID has shown the fragility of the system, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that, like, not just being self-reliant, I think being self-reliant is super important, but what we're doing here and meeting you guys is super important too. And I hope that it's just important for all of you to meet each other. And what we love the most is everyone shouting out each other's names and saying hi to familiar faces. That means a lot because we need community. We need community. We need places that we can go. And I don't think that it's crazy to want to live in a bus. I think a lot of people think it's kind of mental to want to live in a bus. And with the current situation, you know, moving freely is changing and it's a lot different. And yeah, that's kind of scary. But I think that having friends and building a community is a really good idea because we can all rely on each other and, you know, help each other out. There's a lot of messed up stuff going on. So yeah, we need each other. We definitely need each other right now. So make a friend. While you're here, make a friend.
Make a friend.
Yeah. Good evening. Oh, Jacoby Jacobs. Good
what
to
up,
see
Jacoby?
you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Where would you settle down for homestead? And what kind of welder do you use?
The welder's a quick answer.
Yeah.
It's just the Lincoln 210 MP.
Mhm.
It does MIG, TIG, and stick or something like that. We only use MIG on it though. It's very easy. I feel like anybody with any desire to weld can pick up a MIG and start learning how to stick metal to metal.
Yeah.
As for homestead question, that's a very good one.
That's a good question.
There's a lot of criteria
Yeah.
around that too.
Yeah. It kind of depends on the state of the world. Like we could get a quick and dirty homestead for a good price. And
that's just the land.
And that's just the land.
Yeah.
Not buy the homestead. The idea is to get a piece of land and make it better, build food forests, build systems that make the land better and thriving and become caretakers of the land. That's the idea. But yeah, if we need to get something kind of quick and dirty, that's just like a couple acres, we might end up doing that. That's not ideal. We would kind of rather go in on a big chunk of land with maybe like a few other groups of people.
Yeah.
Like a small group of people. That'd be super cool. We don't know where yet. And we don't know what it's going to be like to try to leave Ontario when they're barricading between provinces here and then waiting for your residency, Brian's residency, to be taken care of. That's kind of just on delay because of the COVID stuff too. Well, that's what they're saying. So yeah, and they said we shouldn't leave Canada until that's done. So like in the like immediate future, we don't know, and we don't know how long this COVID crap story is going to last for. So yeah, a Schooly community would be kind of cool. Like a homestead community would be super cool. We're not looking for like a permanent Schooly Palooza party zone.
No.
Although partying every now and then would be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see faces and smiles and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be great. And yeah, it's got to have water. We want to have a nice piece of running water so that we can do hydroelectricity. You don't need very fast moving water or a lot of water for that. It just needs to be moving. Constantly, right?
Constantly. You can use things like a Pelton wheel. If you've never seen one of those, it's just a super, super well manufactured wheel. I've seen a lot of like experiments with people like doing variations of Pelton wheels, but those are pretty freaking cool. Another thing is like, it would be nice to have a piece of property that has decent ground that is good for growing stuff and even having some animals. We saw a report that in BC, British Columbia, they're going to start requiring 100% of people's animals to be tagged, like cows, goats, sheep, whatever animals that they have in British Columbia, tagged and registered by the end of 2021.
That's a mess.
Now, if that's not totalitarianism in brew, I don't know what is, because that like goes along with tagging humans.
They're already trying to put microchips in people's brains to like, well, whatever Elon Musk is doing.
Neuro something or other. Yeah.
They have some interesting ideas about that if you look into that.
So if the land's good, that would be great. If it's not good, having the ability to do soil building using like worm castings, creating your own compost, obviously like is a good thing. So that you can make your own soil better. And that just takes time to do. Which is why initially having a place that has some decent land would be like for growing would be essential. 4 seasons would be nice. If it's too hot somewhere, you run into water situations of not like potential drought situations.
Yep.
If it's too cold, you also run into water situations of the frozen type.
However,
there's greenhouses.
Jeff Lawton, if you look him up, really cool permaculture guy.
Jeff spelled Geof.
Geoff Lawton.
Lawton, I think.
Great guy. That guy has done some cool stuff. Look up. I think it's like a 3-part series of videos, YouTube channel of building a food forest in the desert.
Yeah.
Really.
Of like Iran or something like that.
Iran or something like that.
Or Pakistan. It was I
don't even know. It was
one of the countries
amazing.
Over there. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were growing a ton of food and teaching people in the area how to grow food in the desert.
And they don't get a lot of water over there in that area, but they did a before picture of the site. It was like several acres big. And then they did a 10-year picture, and it was literally an oasis around, like completely surrounded by sand and desert and stuff like that, which was wild to see. And it all goes back to the permaculture principles and everything.
Mark Wilson,
build a tunnel wind turbine on your bus, or is it turbine, not turban? Turbine's something you wear. Turbine. On your bus. It'll charge as you drive.
You got the plans for that, Mark?
That's a good one, Mark.
That's good.
That's really good.
I like that. How big do you think the tunnel has to be?
Yeah.
We don't want to make the bus too tall. Yeah. But I like that idea. I really like that idea.
Or just like have pinwheels on the mirrors. Maybe they can
hold it out the window.
Be cute like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Recycled hydro. It's so good. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Justin Rhodes is also awesome. We haven't seen Joel.
I like his
Salatin.
accent. No, not Joel.
We'll have to check out Joel.
We're obsessed with one of our favorite YouTube channels. You guys did ask this is Pure Living for Life with Jesse and Alyssa. They're not really putting out new videos right now, but they have
plenty of videos
to catch up on. Yeah. We're really deep into their house build. We can't stop watching. And they're in
Idaho, northern Idaho.
Yeah. And Simple Living Alaska. So
Eric
good.
and Ariel. They are awesome.
So good. Just showing that you can live in the freezing cold. That's something we're kind of interested about learning, and we learn a ton from them. Every time we watch their channel, we learn what they're doing on a day-to-day basis to survive in Alaska.
ABL, always be learning, guys.
Always be learning.
Yeah, everything is a lesson of some kind.
Yeah. Do we watch Woodworking People? What's that one guy's channel where he does the don't throw anything out video? Don't throw wood out.
Oh, I forget what his was.
He's kind of like British or something.
Yeah.
That guy's awesome.
There's also another one I used to watch called Wood Whisperer. That guy has amazing woodworking skills. Super high end. And he uses like crazy expensive. Not that the more expensive the tool, the better the result, but sometimes buying the right tool for the project or for the task is better than having the wrong tool that could still get it done, but it just won't be as easy to use, easy to put together, easy to build with. Yeah.
We really like Mr. Chickadee too.
Oh, Mr. Chickadee.
He's so good.
If you have not seen Mr. Chickadee, excellent.
Tell them about the closed caption secret.
Oh, he's got a closed caption secret. So if you turn closed captions on some of his videos, he actually has closed captions talking about what he's doing, why he's doing stuff. But it's just something that you could read. But he doesn't say a word in his videos. No music, no nothing. It's just he uses hand tools, chisels, hand saws. I don't think he uses any motorized equipment at all on the channel, at least. I know that he drives a pickup truck, and he was a former Marine dog handler.
I think once in a while he must rent some kind of dirt digger. But his channel is great, and if you want to learn some cool like joinery and stuff like that. Mr. Chickadee's awesome.
Sashi Fly says, do you guys have advice for early builders who still need to get all their bus stuff in this climate of inflation and lack of inventory?
That's kicking our asses too.
Yeah.
Just saying. We're kind of, because we're in a time crunch now, we're buying everything, which sucks because we were just kind of buying things as projects came up. But I also think too, even without this push to move out of our space that we're doing the conversion in, I do think that there's probably a time, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'd like to hear from the naps on this because you guys are further ahead than us if you guys are still here. Once you get kind of closer to the end, it's almost like you need stuff on hand because it's like this project depends on this project, depends on this project and that project and that project. Like they all start kind of interweaving together. So it's like, oh, well, if you don't have your for sure wash machine yet, or you don't have your for sure fridge yet, then it's hard to plan that space. Mm-hmm. Or if you haven't finished your plumbing yet, or if you don't have your wood burning stove yet, like it's hard to plan for that. You can look at specs and stuff online, but until you have the physical thing, it makes it kind of challenging. So advice on what to do.
Online marketplaces to get stuff that's being repurposed.
Repurpose the shit out of everything.
Like Larry Almost Home Bus says reuse and recycle unless the time investment is too high.
That's good point.
Good. That is an excellent point there. Like you can find some really good deals on a lot of building supplies, surprisingly enough, on Kijiji, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. There's several other places that I've seen, but those are the main three that we go to if we're looking for something specific. Mm-hmm. But repurposing and being very creative with the materials that you come across, basically being the MacGyver and creative mind of materials. Yeah. Because there's a lot of materials out there that can be used for different things. Even though a 2x4 may look like a piece of crap, the majority of it, there might still be a section that's still usable. Mm-hmm.
We have some shitty 2x4s that we're going to put up in the ceiling to put up our bathroom ceiling. And we scavengers, we were about ready to burn them in our wood burning stove because right now we're so cold, we're burning everything. And we were about to toss those 2x4s, but we're glad we kept them because we need 2x4s for that ceiling. And we only need about, I don't know, 26 inches or something. So they're the perfect size. John asked if we had any leftovers. He's in Ontario too, because he was asking if we plan to sell them. Honestly, another great tip for new people or people who are kind of in the early phases of a schoolie build, keep everything.
Keep everything.
Even if you don't think you have space for it, find a place to store it. We are using little scrappy pieces of metal, and like Brian just said, 2x4s and all kinds of stuff. We use that stuff. We're using it up. We use almost all the ceiling material that we took out of here.
Almost 100% of it. Almost 100%. And the stuff that you don't use, sell it. Post it on Craigslist or Marketplace or Kijiji or whatever. Because, like, for instance, I'm going to tell you an example of this, and Erin just said what it was. All of the windows, the bus windows that go top down and emergency exit windows here that we took out of the bus, because we didn't keep a single one of them, we literally posted on Facebook Marketplace. I think there was 27 windows, something like that we took out. Posted it, and within an hour or so, there was someone who said, "Hey, I'm looking for windows. I would love to buy all the windows that you have." And we sold it to the guy for $50 Canadian, which is a little bit less in USDs, but that's
it's probably
fine.
like $75 American. But like those could have went to the dump, and even if we took them to the metal place to scrap them, we probably would have got a few bucks.
But the guy's going to use it for a greenhouse that he's building.
That's the best.
A greenhouse.
A greenhouse.
Yes.
That was the first thing I put in the ad. These would be great for a greenhouse. And then this guy messaged me within a few minutes. Yeah. So pretty sweet. Daniel Dine says, when I start converting my bus, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. What's your advice for a YouTube newbie? We have a couple YouTube pointer videos that we made when we were talking about online business. You could go check out our YouTube playlist. We have like a YouTube advice playlist. There's not a lot there. I would say film everything. Like film as much as you can. When you don't have hands for it, set the camera in peculiar places. Music's always fun to add. But yeah, film as much as you can. Don't put like crazy expectations on yourself. Start small. Do like one video a week. And kind of stick to a schedule the best you can. We suck at the schedule. We're not great at it. This is hard. Like literally there's two of us building and two of us to edit videos, and we still get behind all the time. And sometimes projects take way longer. The last couple videos, we thought we'd blast out a couple quickies. So projects haven't been completed in our videos, and we're not sure. What do you guys like? Do you want to see a full project, or do you like the kind of vlog style that we've been doing where we're just kind of like showing you day to day the progress report on stuff? Let us know. But yeah, I don't know. If you're going to start a YouTube channel, don't give yourself a hard time. Just, do the best that you can and have fun with it and be yourself. When you are talking to the camera, you're not talking to everybody yet. So don't judge yourself for what you say. Just be natural and have fun. Because when we started doing YouTube, we were so stiff, and you can see that in all of our old videos.
Which we still have up.
Yeah.
And
but watch the travel videos. They're like way fun. Like if you were gonna watch some videos, watch Ecuador. Watch Ecuador and watch Colombia. The Ciudad Perdida playlist.
Yeah, Ciudad Perdida was a good one also.
Yeah.
Ecuador was awesome. Galapagos was so much fun.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful place.
Yeah, Cans Float says they're learning what not to do from other YouTubers. We learned that too. That's why you would stay tuned with people, is to learn what not to do. Also,
belly flops in Puerto Vallarta.
Sí. Belly flops.
That was crazy.
What else? We sold a bunch to people using. Yeah, they sold their stuff to people building a barn in a shed. That's cool, Cheryl.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, do the same thing, John. Do the same thing.
We scrapped some of the steel that we didn't end up using and like we were thinking through our projects. We're like, okay, we're not going to use any of this steel. And we ended up like getting like $40 or something like that, 40 or $50 from when we scrapped that little bit.
We had a full truckload of stuff.
It's like 1,000 pounds or something like that.
The guy pulling the stuff out of the vehicle, he wasn't even wearing gloves, which just like freaked me out. And he was just ripping them out. I like backed up because I was scared that I was going to get torn apart by that savage. I was so savage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares if your videos are poorly edited? Alma Mamo says his videos are poorly edited, but like he keeps showing up. That's a cool thing, is like Larry keeps showing up and he's hilarious. And the stuff he's doing on his bus is so creative and he's going the whole 9 yards. So it's like we say this all the time. We watch channels and it's not necessarily for video editing. It's for the ideas and the experience that person has. There's always a nugget of wisdom to catch from somebody's videos. So I don't know. If you keep showing up, people will follow. It's just like a time game.
It is a time game.
It's literally like, are you willing to stay consistent and keep putting the effort and keep showing up? Like, that's all that it is.
Someone recently was messaging us saying, "Oh, I've been recording the videos of our Schooly build, and I'm waiting till I have more done before I start releasing them." And then I was just like, "Well, why are you not letting the videos out as you release them?" "Oh, because I want them to be on a schedule." And be like, "Cool, be on a schedule if you can, but like." Being on a schedule is unrealistic for us. Like, stuff takes so much longer in most cases that we're just like, you know what? Let's just release videos as we can. It would be great to be all like, yay, every freaking Sunday evening or every Wednesday afternoon at the same time. Like, that is a great dream to have. Mm-hmm. But the problem with it is like, okay, well, what if you do hoard all these videos? Mm-hmm. It takes time to build an audience on YouTube who want to watch your videos. Yeah. Like, we went for a couple years of producing videos that were lackluster, and they were like all about stuff that we don't even talk about on YouTube anymore.
We don't want to talk about it anymore because it bored the shit out of us.
Exactly.
We were trying to be people we weren't.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. Be your own human, because people can sense you not being a genuine human through the lens and how you're portrayed and everything. Like who you see on our YouTube videos and who you see right here, we're the same people. The YouTube videos might sound a little bit different because of how they're cut. Yeah. But like, this is just stream of consciousness. Yeah. All of our YouTube videos, nothing is scripted. I have no idea what Erin's going to say, and she has no idea what I'm going to say or what I'm going to do. I have no idea what she's going to do. And I just hope that the camera's rolling when that funny shit comes out of her mouth. Because like, there's sometimes I'm just like, I've got no idea where you just came from with that, but that is hilarious.
Yeah. I like that Elmo most said that he's doing it for him. I think that's cool. That is something really cool about, you know, some people on YouTube are straight up doing it for family and friends and stuff. Yeah. Something that we always say to people is, even if you're not doing a YouTube channel or posting on social media or whatever, who cares about any of that? It's not a big deal, but take the pictures, take the photos and videos for yourself, because later you're going to want to know, like, where did that come from? You know, how did I feel? We see old videos of us and we're like, whoa, that's amazing. Like, we were going through a tough time and we still made that project happen. Mm-hmm. That was really challenging. We were upset that day. Oh, we were kind of like bickering that afternoon because of blah, blah, blah. But like, we really, like, by the end of that video, we're obviously lovey-dovey again. And that's like neat stuff to see. And I think, because
we're humans, guys.
Sharing that raw emotion in video formation and just doing your own personal video diary of your build, whether you post it to social or not, is so worth having. Right?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Posting it to social, be it any of the social medias or even to YouTube, people are brutal in the comments. Like, there's some people that we've had to block off of the channel. They could probably still watch the channel, but they can't comment and they can't react to anything because of the comments that they've left, that has either sent her in tears or enraged me, that I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with people who I don't want to deal with. And so I'm up to here with people, to the point that if you're not nice in the comments and on the channel, like, there's constructive criticism and then there's dicks. I don't tolerate the people who are dicks.
You guys might notice that in our videos, we're starting to kind of poke fun at the shit people say to us in the comments. Yeah. We can't even help it. Like, it's so funny. This thermal bridging thing is just like hilarious to us. So we make fun of that. We can't help it.
Yeah.
We can't help it. Or you're going to use nylock nuts for that? Or make sure you use third lugger. Like, some people are genuinely trying to help, and you can tell in their tone. But other people, they just don't know how to type or something. And that's funny. But we don't care. We don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, people, as soon as you start putting yourself out there, expect that dickheads are going to show up.
And you will be judged.
And you're being judged. But guess what? Every time we judge others, we judge ourselves. So it's really just a reflection in the mirror, kids.
And I think like something that like I want to be extremely clear on is like the community that we're creating around our content, because like the content we put out there is to truly help people. And we don't know everything, but we want to create a community of people who all want to bring their experiences together through the channels that we've created. And so to have a cohesive community, you have to have people who are critics and you have to have people who are just taking information. Yeah. And then like there has to be this happy balance of like give and get. And so like what I'm getting out of this community is all of the wealth of knowledge that people are donating on the comments of all these things. Cause I don't freaking know everything, and neither does Erin. And we never proclaim that we do know everything. Yeah. And not everything that we do is right.
Some of the stuff we do is straight up dumb. Some
of the stuff that we do are just all like, are we going to put that in the video or not?
Probably. Yeah, let that out. Yeah, Jacob.
Rolling Waters on Instagram.
Jacobs wondered if either of us cook, and we both cook up a storm. Oh, he said he's leaving for pizza.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Bring us
I would love to leave for pizza.
Yeah, F the haters. Yeah. You know what? It's like, bring on the haters. Like, if they want to hate. Like, I'd rather love. Yeah. Spend your time being a lover than some grumpy asshole.
More importantly, like, we want everybody to be able to grow from other people's comments on there too. So like, if we can foster a community that is about growth, both personally within yourself and also, you know, spiritually, and even like in relationships and stuff, like there's a lot of different types of spirituality. There's a lot of different types of relationships. Like, we're not trying to like promote everybody like, hey, go find your partner online or anything like that. But like relationships here of everybody knowing each other and be able to communicate and be nice to each other, because right now it's about survival and it's about like everybody being able to like contribute something to the conversation so that we can all grow together. Because if we're all growing together, then we can all band together. If there's something that isn't part of what we all deem as being right and true in this world, then the more of us that are out there together, the stronger we are together, the less BS that we have to put up with other things going on trying to control the narrative. I'm not going to go too far into that here because I don't want this video to get taken down off of YouTube. Yeah. But we've got a private community that we've created in the Get Your Skoolie On that a few people are in, but no one's like hanging out in there yet. But like, that's something that we want to develop at some point, is having that private community be real somewhere talks. That we can actually speak freely, because regardless of the amendments that are allowed to be have with freedom of speech, there are channels getting taken down off of every social media platform for people speaking freely
and asking questions.
Yeah.
Valid questions, because there's a lot of things to question right now. Wouldn't you agree?
And if there's a question to be had, why should people be silenced?
Right.
That's my question.
Yeah.
So like, it's such a crazy time that we're in, and we can't speak freely on this platform.
Not 100%.
No.
Not 100%.
So we talk about what is allowed to be talked about.
Yeah.
And
look at that. Cancel culture has to go. Oh, Momo. darn tootin'.
Yeah.
Darn tootin'.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just like the best people here. Thank you, Ian Ireland. We think you're amazing for being here and hanging out with us.
And AW Polymath at Rolling Waters on Instagram. Feel free to add us or send us a message or something because right now we're streaming this live stream off of my hotspot on the phone and her hotspot on her computer so that she can type chats and stuff. I don't want to like jump off that because it might kill the stream.
Yeah.
So send us a message. Be Adventure Partners Official on Instagram, and we're more than happy to connect.
Yeah.
Faux show.
Yeah. Somebody. So I want to talk about this. No, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
You're done with the trolls.
Yeah.
We got a good group. I think that's
is
very evident in the way that we handle comments also.
Yeah, I would rather like kind of like play jokingly back with them. Some guy, this is funny as heck. Some guy sent us a message on our video where we put these dual seats side by side together saying, "That's dumb that you put those seats side by side." And just had this huge comment about why it was stupid that we did that because you can't walk through and blah, blah, blah. And then we commented back like, well, it's going to be pretty dumb when we're sitting side by side enjoying each other and driving into the sunset together. And also, when he said it was dumb that they swivel around, we were like, yeah, it'd be pretty dumb being able to sit about 10 people in our living room around our dining table. That would be stupid.
Eating dumb food that's dumb delicious.
We never heard back from that guy.
He never commented back, and I don't know why. His comment's still up there, though.
Jacob Jacoby, you're back. Yes, we love cooking together. We do. We love it.
Just get ready for the cooking segment we're going to have.
We will have a massive cooking segment. We will have stuff about foraging. We will be interviewing other people who are more knowledgeable than us.
Yes.
Because this next phase is quite literally a research project for us. And it's for you too. Like if you guys are interested in anything about living in the wild, being self-reliant, community-based living, living off grid, that's where we're going with this thing.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about food preservation,
canning,
all kinds of stuff.
Ferments.
Yeah. And then the stuff that you would look forward to in our own private community would be stuff like how to get food across the border and stuff. Probably like I don't know where we're gonna go with that. Like something that I'm like literally thinking about a lot is there's seed shortages, and if we want to have a homestead, like I want to buy a ton of seeds right now before all the prices go up, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, well, if I buy a whole bunch of seeds and then we can't get across the border. Because we have seeds, and then they take our seeds. So we have to see
what we're allowed to take across the border also. Because a lot of times having open packages of food, they're all like, no, you can't take open pack. They let you take some things, but some things they don't. So I know that there's a list in both US and Canada. So coming into Canada, they have a list. And then going into the US, they have a list. So it's long and extensive, so we have to kind of figure out what is kosher depending on which direction that we're going. Yep. And we don't want to like stock up on a ton of seeds, heirloom seeds and non-GMO organic seeds because like we don't want those confiscated and incinerated or whatever. So we've got to be able to figure out how to do all that, and that's coming up. Like. Yep. It's something that's definitely coming up
really soon. Yeah. Actually, the Naps say that there's nothing more fun than cooking in the bus.
Oh,
so cool! They just made bread.
Or Shelly, is there nothing more fun than cleaning up after Randy's cooking bread? Just curious. That was hilarious. I laughed so hard because that's kind of how it is whenever if I was cooking bread on the counter.
Mess.
Okay, so lately, Erin's mom has a bread maker, a bread machine, like one of those big ones that you just dump everything in and it. So I made some pumpernickel, and it was like, it took like 10 minutes to load all the ingredients into it and then 4 hours for it to make. But I ended up making 2 loaves back to back. So one day and one the next day, because the first loaf was just gobbled up super fast, not just by us.
Mm-hmm.
And then made another one, and that lasted a couple days. And so I look forward to getting into more bread baking in our little toaster oven machine, because it's a pretty decent machine over there. It's got a little air fry function, which works pretty good. And that should be a lot of fun also.
Oh my gosh, the air fryer is killer.
I want to make sweet potato fries.
Pizza.
Oh my gosh. Air fryer warming up pizza, like day old pizza or whatever that was cold. Friggin' throw it in there, turn the air fryer on, and Bob's your uncle. You've got the best reheated pizza. Like, even if you put toast function on, it does not reheat it like the air fryer does. I don't know what it does and why it's different, but it's so much better.
I don't know. I feel like we can make a lot of really good stuff. Right now, we have a really nice Asian soup with turkey and chicken meatballs waiting for us.
Yeah, ginger. They were like ginger-based turkey, chicken,
black
onions,
sesame.
With miso. We put some miso in there also. That was going to be freaking delicious.
Nice, brothy, kind of like almost like a wonton soup vibe, but way more vegetables.
BBS Index, yes. Please send us some of those German bread recipes. I remember as a child living there and being in the little German towns and smelling the bread in these little bitty out of, just little towns here and there in the mornings. And the weather was cool, so it held down the smell of the fresh baked breads and the hard crusts and everything. And I was just like, oh, that's so good. And I would love to get some good bread recipes. Send it to our email. I'll drop our email here in the chat.
Cheryl's asking about the air fryer. Is it in a video? I think we have it in a video. It should be in our Amazon shop.
Yeah.
If it's not, send me a message and I will
definitely send us. The
air fryer is awesome. We love the size of it. It is on electricity, but it doesn't take up that much electricity. No. And it's so fast that even if it did gobble up a bunch of electricity, it would be like, ping.
We did energy consumption tests on every single device that we're using in our bus. Using a kilowatt meter, and we made spreadsheets and all sorts of good stuff to keep track of it. And that helped us design with Battleborn, who we partnered with for our energy system here, helped us design what size of system, how many solar panels we'd need, and everything like that. So we're going to post all of the results for that system in Get Your Skoolie On, and like how we did all of those calculations and stuff, because I think that was like probably one of the hardest things for me was I don't know much about electricity. I know that you can start a fire with it. We burned up an extension cord because we had too much stuff plugged in on one. Yeah. Oops. And then I started paying more attention to like amps and stuff like that. So that was all fixed, but now we've got all the spreadsheets with all the data and how to come across the calculations. So it helps to figure out the battery bank size, the inverter size, how many solar panels you're going to need system, and your charge controller. So what we'll put up is the spreadsheet that's downloadable, so that all you do is just go and enter in your numbers, and it talks about the formulas and what you're calculating and what order to calculate stuff in, so that you know how to size the system. And we worked with Battleborn on how to do all of that. So that's premium, extra premium content.
By the way, Battleborn was amazing to work with. We had a few people that were like, why would you spend that much money? And just like going crazy about it.
They have good products for one, and they're Victron dealers. So
yeah, they have really good and like the best customer service. The customer service is crazy. We've spent so much time talking to them. really, really good.
Yeah.
And worth it to do energy consumption tests
Mhm.
and stuff before you buy your system, and to know like what appliances and stuff you're going to be running,
Mhm.
like the exact appliances.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
super exciting, super exciting.
Holy smokes. Everyone's hungry and
Everybody
talking
hungry?
about German food.
I'm getting hungry talking about all this. Yeah, Jenna, we had some amazing adventures in Germany, eating all the German
Aw.
food as children. If anybody doesn't know,
Twinsies.
Jenna is my sister.
Yay. That's why they're both so beautiful. Better system.
What else? What else?
I don't even know. These guys. Everyone's talking about like having a grill. Like Almost is gonna have like a slide out grill. That's awesome.
We're gonna have a grill of some kind.
We want to get like a huge thing.
Yeah.
So that we can do canning outside.
Yeah. So we had this idea of doing,
get a canner.
if you've seen the big Camp Chef stoves that have 2 propane burners, I was thinking of maybe fabricating something similar, but having like 2 rocket stoves where the burners would be, because basically you're just trying to heat up your stuff super fast. So I thought that might be a really good idea. Hadn't really seen, I've seen like single rocket stoves, like the little metal ones or whatever. But I was thinking if we fabricated before we take off out of metal steel plate, and then mounted it on the bottom, or made our own little top of some kind, then that would be a way that we can have our own outdoor super hot burner for doing canning, like pressure canning and stuff. We don't have a pressure canner yet, but we've been eyeballing the All American ones, that brand. Whew, those are like the Cadillac of pressure canner. And Jenna could probably pipe up. She used to have a pickle business where she sold pickles, like artesian, top of the line. I've never had your pickles.
I can't believe I just found out about that.
Never
and my
had your
last
pickles.
name is Bick like the pickle.
Yeah. So we might need to talk pickles and stuff, and maybe do a segment with you at some point. What's the question about pickles? All of it.
All of it.
All of it's the question.
I want to make the best dill pickles. Okay, this is a good question. If you had only one food that you could live off of, what would it be? Drop it.
Let us know what that food would be.
Mine is olives. Mine is olives. Garlic stuffed olives. I would live off of garlic stuffed olives. And Jenna, if you know how to make those, you're the one. You need to teach me how to make garlic stuffed olives. Ramen.
Nice.
Dang. You know what? Ethiopian food is one of my favorites too. Fucking
tacos. I'm going to approve that one, Lazy Genius,
Show
Taro,
it.
and Bizarre.
Lazy Genius is killing me with the comments tonight.
You know,
So
Lazy
good.
Genius, I miss good tacos from Torchy's Tacos in Austin, Texas.
Those tacos.
Those tacos, the ones that are off the menu, the ones that are on the menu, they have a secret menu there too for people who know they have a secret menu. You ask them, hey, what's on the secret menu? And they're all like this. And they reach down below and they pull out the secret menu. It's so fun.
Yeah. Oh, Shelly Knapp would eat garlic stuffed olives with me.
Boom.
That's our date.
That's going to be a date right
That's
there.
our date.
Garlic stuffed olives.
And crafts.
And, oh my gosh. And crafts.
We're going to do crafts like crazy in the wilderness.
I want to talk to y'all, the nap time, about kaleidoscopes and slingshots. That's what I want to talk to y'all about.
Oh my God. The naps have some really cool secret talents.
Yeah.
Definitely creep on them.
I've done some internet searches and found some interesting stuff about them.
We love them.
They're really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Cool people. Can't wait to meet them in the real human life.
Oh my gosh. We got spaghetti, tacos, more tacos. Live in Vegas. Yeah, you know what we had? Remember those El Pastor tacos
Ooh.
and fish tacos? I love fish tacos.
We had some El Pastor there in Colombia, of all places, and people were commenting on those videos saying, El Pastor tacos are from Mexico, or like, claro que sí, es de Mexico. But they were making them there in Colombia also, and you can't say that other places can't also have tacos. Like, that's just, like, you can't just take that ownership. I believe that tacos is synonymous with delicious food that people want to eat out of a flatbread of some kind.
Yeah.
But it was delicious there in Colombia. They had the pineapple there on the top, and it was on a little rotisserie, and they sliced it off. And
good.
Oh my gosh, it was so delicious.
Remember when
the salsa was nice?
Oh, the salsa is so good. When we were in Guayaquil, Ecuador, we ran into this really great souvlaki place.
Ooh.
Whoa! That was crazy. It's really neat to go to another country and then have food from another country where it was like traditional people, like Lebanese people who moved to that country, or in Toronto, there's a ton of Ethiopian food. When I lived there, I ate Ethiopian food like crazy. Every time I see wasabi fetish, I almost die about sushi. Like, I want to have sushi all the time. Your mom is in the house.
Oh, what's up? My mom and Mike are in the house. What's up, y'all? No power in the house.
Sorry, we're swearing a lot.
Rolling blackouts.
Whoa! Check out Adapt 2030 to find out what's going on with the grand solar minimum.
What is going on with that, Mike and Mom?
Oh, ceviche.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I'd love to know. I heard San Antonio was like, I don't know if they're rolling blackouts right now or what's going on with that. Yeah. But that's concerning, none the least.
Definitely concerning.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are okay.
Hope you've got, do you guys have some heat going on?
They're in front of the fireplace.
Okay, good.
Do you guys have a new fireplace?
Good for you. Yeah, probably the new house.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What a great crowd tonight, y'all. I'm getting hungry now.
Best.
Yeah.
Oh, you went for souvlaki in Toronto. Yes. Oh, my God. We had really good souvlaki also in Colombia when we were staying in El Rodadero. That was crazy good souvlaki. It's so crazy when you're traveling and you haven't had something that you really have been craving for a while, and then you find that spot, that restaurant that's just like the best. Does anybody here miss going to restaurants and hanging out in restaurants? I really do.
I miss really good restaurants.
I do.
I miss restaurants that we go to or used to go to that we'd be like, we go here because they're making something that we've never made, and it just seems complicated to make. Interesting, Mike, talking about solar panels. You're right. Solar panels don't work when they've got snow on them, when they're covered in dust and dirt and stuff. So, like, that's one thing about solar panels. Like, I don't believe that there's a perfect energy yet. And someone could prove me wrong. And I would hope so that you would. When we were traveling through, I believe it was Ecuador, Chiripo, and we met with
what was that guy's name?
Jose.
Jose. Yeah.
His name was Jose. He was a white guy, but
From Oregon.
From Oregon. I don't really think his name was Jose. He was kind of an undercover brother. Undercover brother. Well, he was telling us about this combustion engine that ran on water that this guy developed and invented, and it was not a steam engine like you would think of. Oh, it was a steam engine. No, it was like literally combusting water somehow. Well, that inventor ended up dead along with all of his plans for this engine that ran on water. So that just goes to prove that there's ways to make energy, and I don't know what the perfect energy is yet. Because wind's not a perfect energy, because if there's no wind, how are you going to harness it? Sunlight's not the perfect energy because you have solar panels, and if it's dark or cloudy or rainy or you park under trees or whatever, solar panels are no good. Generators aren't the best option either because you need a fuel of some kind, gasoline, diesel, propane, methane, whatever it is that you could power a diesel generator off. Water currents are pretty good energy because if you put a Peloton wheel or something like that in a water source that's flowing, then you can use that. The problem with that is like disruption of fish and biodiversity inside the water. Supposedly it can harm their path of travel if it's too big and it gets in their way or whatever, because you don't really want to harm them. So like there's all these potential different ways of potential energy, stored up energy. So like, what is the perfect energy? So geothermal Sashi Fly just said, like, is that a perfect energy though? Like you got to drill down into the earth. What does it take to drill that down into the earth? So like, I never want to get on like a platform saying, oh yeah, green energy, solar panels. Because like if people know what it takes to make solar panels, when I was a firefighter in Austin, Texas, there was a solar panel production facility, a manufacturing place in Firebox 3502 that I worked in. And that facility, we toured several times, and they said, if there is ever a fire here in this facility, you need to be as far away that if you can cover it with your thumb, you're probably still too close. They're like, let our fire suppression systems put out the fire and don't come close to it, because the stuff that we use to make, or the stuff that's used to make solar panels, is so toxic that you don't even want to be upwind or downwind to it. Like, neither.
Scary.
So, like,
we watched this documentary. It was so depressing, but it was called The Human Disease or something.
I don't remember what it was called.
But it was like straight up like being a human is the disease to the earth. And I don't want to believe that, because I do think we're all here for a reason, and there's a symbiotic relationship between humans, animals, the environment, all of that, and we're meant to be here right now in these human bodies having this human experience. But the direction this documentary went was essentially like, you couldn't be a consumer of anything. Even animals, like if you really think about it, are destroying the earth if they burrow holes to live in and stuff like that. But they only take what they need. And I think that that's kind of the difference between humans and creatures, is that the creatures take what they need to survive. Humans, especially in this time, are taking more than they need and destroying the earth.
And we're not perfect humans and never proclaim to be perfect humans, because I don't think that there's something such as a perfect human. But like it's a real frustrating topic to really try to dive into, especially like we've watched channels where people are all like, oh, I'm such a vegan, like going down that rabbit hole of like no plant-based anything or no animal anything. And then they go and jump in their vehicle to drive somewhere, and they take you along with them on their vlog that they're doing. I'm just like, hold on, you won't wear a wool sweater, but you'll jump into a machine that uses fossil fuels. Like, I'm confused about what your priorities are now. So there's no really good argument for a lot of these ways. And I see sides of the arguments, and I entertain the different sides, but it just goes back to say, we're not perfect humans, because that doesn't exist. Yeah.
It's really hard, because there's always a counterbalance to something. Like when we were traveling, we saw beaches that, like, the most beautiful beaches that we had ever seen, ever. So polluted and so disgusting with human stuff. Like, it was like a hurricane blew up on that place, and it was nuts and so sad. And we were like, okay, we want to, make less of an impact, the least impact possible. But now we're doing, this bus conversion, and there is waste. There's a lot of waste. But
when we go drive, we're using diesel.
Yeah. which sucks. It sucks, but there's also a lot of things that we can try to do.
Yeah.
And like upcycling and recycling things that already exist, trying to buy less plastics and stuff. Like, I think we just do the best that we can do. But I don't know. Whenever you stand up on a soapbox, like you gotta be prepared to have critics come at you.
But just like Jenna's saying, like I feel that there has to be a balance between consumption, like what's coming in and what's going out. So but what is that balance?
Yeah.
How is that balance defined? And like what's the yardstick at which to measure that balance? Like I feel like those are like some huge questions that don't necessarily have a solid answer to, but it's something that like should be talked about if it's allowed.
Good luck.
Good luck and Godspeed.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's like 7 degrees Celsius in the bus right now.
It is?
It's definitely below 10.
And we've got a heat dish underneath the computer setup that we have here.
And like an oil radiator beside me. And it doesn't even feel, I can put my hand on it comfortably. It's not very warm. Yeah.
I think it's been fun tonight, guys. We just rolled over 2 hours and 4 minutes and 26 seconds.
Talk about stamina.
Yeah. Hanging out, chatting with all you beautiful people.
Oh my God.
We really appreciate everybody jumping on tonight and chatting with us and having a conversation with us. Yeah. Like, we wouldn't have this channel. This channel wouldn't be anything without people watching it. Yeah. And we really look forward to the community that's being built here. All the people who are hanging out and contributing. BBS Index.
Oh, good. You're wrapping
up.
So
great to see you. You've got breakfast here pretty soon.
Eating breakfast. Have some breakfast for us. We're going to have some late night dinner, I guess. You guys blow our minds. Like, seriously, the stuff you say when people say they're binge watching our videos or they've seen old videos and stuff, like it's crazy every time. It's crazy all the time.
And special shout out to our patrons. Thank you so much for being there and supporting our channel every single month. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much to everybody who left super chats tonight. We really, really appreciate that. Like, that is over and beyond. Yeah. Like, we really, really appreciate you. Thanks to my parents for jumping on and saying hi. It was great to see you guys on here also. Cute. Everybody building a Schooly. A special shout out to all y'all.
Or if you want to.
It's hard.
You're crazy.
It's hard building a Schooly. It's an emotional journey. It takes a lot of stamina. And our relationship's been tested. Like, I feel like it's grown stronger. Our ability to communicate has grown, and learning how to communicate with each other when it comes to measuring.
Oh, I have one last thing that I want to talk about, and it's not measuring. We have had people in the comments tell us, thank you so much. You are the reason I was able to talk my partner into doing a Schooly build. And I just wanted to touch on this. This is actually the reason we were going to go live, was because this keeps coming up, is that while I think that is beautiful, that we may have inspired some people to do a Schooly build, that talking your partner into it isn't the thing that we want people to do. It's more like, how can you have an open conversation with your partner that is true to your heart? And it might not be a Schooly. Maybe it's like, you just want to live different. You don't want to live in an apartment anymore. You don't want to pay a mortgage on a house anymore. Maybe you want to do something totally different. That's what we support. And that's what we're trying to push. Not talking anybody into anything, but more like, have a beautiful conversation with the one that you love about what you actually want in your life.
Because too often we as humans, get stuck in a rut of a rat race that was developed for us by some other entity, be it the media telling you this is what beautiful is, this is what wealth is, this is the way that you should live, be it your boss at work saying you have to be here at this time because that is what time your shift starts. But like there's other ways of surviving out there, and we're not perfect humans. We're still trying to figure it out.
Yep.
Like we still have our struggles in life, financially, like emotionally and everything.
All those things.
Self-image also. Like it's just part of that. It's part of being a human. And so I feel like if we can have better conversations with the ones that we love and each other and everything.
Yeah.
That we'll be able to, as humans, grow to be better communicators so that there's no misunderstanding as to what someone's dreams are. And if your dream isn't someone else's dream, that's fine.
Yeah. Make it work. Dream. Figure out like an in-betweener.
Yeah. An
in-betweener dreamer. Okay. We love all you guys. Seriously, this has been so special. We will do this more for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Thanks for just being hilarious and so cute. We love you guys so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until next time, friends.
Adventure on!
Adventure on. Night, night.
Bye, bye. Bye, bye. End it!